This is not a prediction. This is not a wishful thought. This is a reality being written right now, right before our very eyes. Imagine a map of global musical achievement. There is a prestigious finish line called the Billboard 200 Year-End Artists List. Only 100 names, 100 legends, 100 giants who dominate the industry. Now, look to the east, look to Seoul. There are 8 men who aren't just approaching that line. They have already leaped over its threshold. Yes, you heard that right. Stray Kids in the year 2024 for the year 2026. It sounds insane, like a spoiler from the future, but this is what the data says. The numbers are shouting, and that shout is saying one thing. Stray Kids are projected to rank among the top 100 Billboard 200 artists at the end of 2026, and they have already surpassed the minimum required threshold. How is this possible? What is the evidence? And most importantly, what does it mean for the world? Take a breath first, because what we are about to discuss is something that, honestly, even by Stray Kids' consistently extraordinary standards, still feels surreal. Let's rewind a little. We know their history. They are the Billboard 200 dominators of the 4th generation. Album after album, they enter, they chart, they break records. But what we are talking about now is not about entering the weekly chart anymore. It is not about debuting at #1. That is already mainstream. That is already a basic instinct for SKZ. What we are talking about is the year-end list, the final tally. This is a total calculation. The accumulation of all the struggle, all the sales, all the streaming across 52 full weeks. This is the arena where Taylor Swift, Drake, and Morgan Wallen battle. It is the most stringent, most prestigious, and most difficult field to penetrate. So how is it possible that Stray Kids, a K-pop boy group from JYP Entertainment, are already projected to be there in the top 100 arena in 2026? The answer lies in a magical threshold. Now, here's the thrilling part. According to data analysis from trusted chart accounts and Billboard experts, to enter the top 100 Billboard 200 year-end artists list, an artist needs a certain cumulative point total. This number is derived from the performance of all their albums throughout the year. And guess what? By mid-2024, Stray Kids have already accumulated points that meet that minimum threshold. Think of it like this. Stray Kids are running a marathon named 2024, 2025, 2026. The finish line is a specific point total. Now, in the middle of the first year of this race, 2024, they have already reached a point that should have been achieved at the end of the 3rd year, 2026. They are running at such a phenomenal speed that a 3-year target is being met in just half a year. It is mind-blowing. Now, let us dissect their secret weapons. First, the Rockstar album. This album is a monster. Not only did it have a sweet debut atop the Billboard 200, but its longevity. This album has charted for weeks. Every week it persists, it adds golden points to the year-end calculation. La 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 and Megaverse are not just songs, they are point-generating engines that work non-stop. Its visuals, its concept, they are magnets that keep this album alive on the charts. Bang Chan, Hyunjin, and the others aren't just making music, they are creating work with incredibly high durability. Second, the 5-star legacy. Let's not forget, before Rockstar, they had 5-star, the album that first broke sales records, the album that proved SKZ Replay and S-Class were not a one-time phenomenon. 5-star is the solid foundation that continues to contribute points. It is figuratively a long-term investment whose dividends are still flowing strongly today. Third, consistency is king. This is the real key. Many groups can have a one-hit wonder on Billboard, but Stray Kids, they have serial success. No Easy, Ordinary, Maxident, 5-star, Rockstar, all have contributed. They never have a chart vacuum. Whenever one album begins to weaken, a new one arrives with full force. This is a brilliant chart presence strategy. They are like building a fortress on the Billboard 200, and every new album is an additional defensive tower. Fourth, Stay is the real army. This must be shouted. Stay, you are amazing. Organized streaming strategies, massive album purchases, and most importantly, the decision to focus on the Billboard 200. You understand perfectly that in the global chart war, the Billboard 200 is the field that most determines prestige. You are not just a fandom that is loud on Twitter with hashtags, but a fandom that understands data, that understands strategy. You are the generals behind this success. So what does all this mean? What does it mean if this projection becomes a reality at the end of 2026? This means Stray Kids will no longer be just top players in K-pop. They will be officially recorded as one of the top players in the global music industry. They will be ranked alongside names we have only watched from afar until now.
This is the ultimate validation. Validation that their music, their story, their noise can compete directly in the most elite league. This will open even wider doors. Collaborations, recognition, influence, everything will rise to a level we might not even have imagined yet. Imagine the headlines in Forbes, Billboard, Rolling Stone. Stray Kids, the only K-pop boy group in the top 100 Billboard 200 artists of 2026. Imagine Bang Chan crying on V-Live because of this. Imagine Lee No with his subtle, satisfied smile. Imagine Changbin rapping a new verse about this journey. This will be the pinnacle achievement that will change the narrative forever. But remember, this is still a projection based on their current trajectory. Challenges remain. Competition is getting fiercer. The music world never stands still. However, with the momentum they have now, with Stay behind them, the path to that summit looks clearer than ever before. Now, Stay, it is your turn. First, the big question. What do you think Stray Kids and Stay need to do to ensure this golden projection becomes reality? What other strategies are needed? Second, favorite moment. What moment in Stray Kids' Billboard journey made you the most emotional? The first time they entered? The first time they hit #1? The weeks-long charting? Ultimate bias check. Which member do you think would be the most shocked and the most excited if this news really happens? Write all your excitement, pride, and speculations in the comment box below. Let's enliven it and make this thread a positive and spirited gathering place for Stay. If this discussion has broadened your perspective and fueled your spirit, do not forget. Press the like button, let the YouTube algorithm share this with more Stay. Comment to share your experience. Subscribe and turn on notification bell so you don't miss other exciting analyses about Stray Kids and K-pop. Because this is not the end, Stay. This is precisely the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where Stray Kids no longer arrive as challengers, but as legends in action. Thank you for watching. See you in the 2026 Billboard year-end list. Stay fighting. Stray Kids fighting. This projection places Stray Kids on a trajectory that transcends conventional K-pop success metrics. It's no longer just about the first week's sales records, though those are monumental. It's about sustained, year-round cultural penetration in the world's largest music market. The Billboard 200 year-end list isn't a snapshot, it's the entire film, and Stray Kids aren't just in a scene, they are becoming one of the main features. Consider the psychological impact of this milestone. For years, the narrative for non-Western acts, especially boy groups, has been one of passionate but contained fandom. The goal was to break into the chart. Stray Kids, however, are shifting the goalposts. The aim is no longer merely to break in, but to reside within the chart's upper echelons consistently, to become a permanent fixture in the conversation of annual top performers. This changes everything for the groups that follow. It redefines what is possible. It moves the benchmark from a spectacular entrance to an enduring occupation. Furthermore, this success is uniquely theirs, forged from their distinct identity. Their path hasn't been about diluting their intense, self-produced, often gritty SKZ sound for broader appeal. Paradoxically, it is their uncompromising artistic vision, the very noise they were told to quiet, that has become their most powerful amplifier. Tracks like God's Menu, Thunderous, and S-Class are not easy listening pop. They are complex, layered anthems that command attention. This proves a vital point to the industry. Authentic, artist-driven music with a strong point of view can achieve mainstream commercial longevity on a global scale. They are not chasing trends, they are setting them, and the data is validating their direction. The role of stay in this equation cannot be overstated. This is a symbiotic relationship of the highest order. The group provides relentless, high-quality content and a narrative of growth and self-belief. The fandom responds with a highly organized, data-literate, and fiercely loyal support system. This isn't passive consumption, it's active partnership. Stay has mastered the architecture of modern chart performance, strategic streaming, targeted purchasing, and maintaining constant engagement. They understand that in the algorithmic age, consistency from the artist must be met with consistency from the audience. Together, they have built a self-sustaining ecosystem that feeds into the Billboard machinery with remarkable efficiency. Looking ahead, the period between now and 2026 is not a passive wait for validation. It is an active runway. Every comeback, every single, every album release in 2024 and 2025 will be a building block, directly adding to the cumulative points needed to secure that 2026 year-end position. The upcoming projects are more than just musical endeavors. They are strategic maneuvers in a long-term campaign. The world will be watching, not just to see if they can debut high, but to see if they can hold, endure, and accumulate. The pressure is immense, but if their history is any indicator, Stray Kids and Stay thrive not in spite of pressure, but because of it. They are at their best when the stakes are highest.